we're just gonna start in a half guard position here. Scoot a little bit back here. So, if you're sitting far back, you can get closer. Half guard is whenever he has his leg here connected to my leg on the inside, right? So his right leg hooked around my right leg. Lots of different ways this can go. Basically here. Theo can do some good stuff from here if he can get up on his inside shoulder and his inside hip here. So when he's here, he's in a good position. He can gotta get up on underhooks, start to attack me here. He can put in knee shields. There's a lot of good stuff he can do when he's on one shoulder here and one hip here, on the inside hip and shoulder. Okay, what I'm looking to do is I want to put him flat on two shoulders and have both his hips on the mat. From here, it's very hard for him to work any kind of offense, and I'm pinning his upper body here, and from here, I want to work to get my leg out. So that's what we're going to look at today. Okay, so we're going to start with our partner here. He's in a half guard here. I get to have an underhook here on the far side. So in the arm that's furthest away from me, I'm going under his arm, and I'm going to wrap his head with a cross face where I bring my left arm here under his head. So under the arm on the first side, under the head here. Now, first and foremost from here, I want him flat on two shoulders. Right now, Theodore is still up on his right shoulder here. So in order to do that, I need to do a couple of things. First and foremost, I want to stretch him out here. So I want to lift my elbows and move him here. See, with this arm, I'm basically lifting my elbow and I'm guiding his head over here. So I'm holding everything tight. I'm lifting, lifting, lifting. Now the shoulder gets close to the mat. Here. Okay, from here, now we're close to the ideal upper body position, but we still need one thing. We need to put some weight over this far shoulder. So what I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna make sure that I have my shoulder, my left shoulder connected to his jaw. I'm gonna roll it in, and I'm gonna take my shoulders forward and put my forehead on the mat. So this is the part where it starts to suck a lot for Theodore here. So I want my shoulder here connected to his jaw. Basically force him to turn that way. If he's staring straight up in the ceiling and I'm under his neck here, I can render him unconscious here. So he has to look that way. He has to basically take it on the jaw or take it straight to the artery, and you don't want that. So here, look how I shrug my shoulders forward and I make sure I connect to the jaw and make him look to my right here. It's also in his best interest to not hurt his neck, to look that way here. Now I put my forehead on the mat and I keep everything tight from here to make sure that he doesn't swim his arms in. So your partner here should feel a lot of pressure here. If I'm loose here, Theodore can still move around and get his arms in. I lose control, okay? So I want us to be very precise with this. First, stretch him out, connect the shoulder to the jaw, and now you shrug your shoulders, you bring everything forward, put your forehead to the mat. That's it for the upper body. When we got that, we're good there. Now let's just look at how we're gonna get into a passing posture here, which is a little bit specific here. So we get everything in here. Now what we wanna do is we wanna actually take both our knees off the mat and go up in the tripod. So I walk on my toes, and I get up in the tripod here. I need my knee close to his hip here, this knee. The reason why I do that is because I don't want him to bring this leg out, because that can ruin everything. If I'm out with my leg here, Theodore, he can push, put me in the close guard, and now I have to open the close guard. So I keep my knee close here. Here, so when Theodore tries to put me in close guard, I'm just pinching, making sure my knee stays in place. If you open it up too much, that's a free guard pass, okay? So I want you to get up in this tripod posture after you've straightened them out. So you take your partner, lift them up with the head and the arm, shrug everything in, forehead on the mat, and then you walk up to this tripod right here. My knees are pinching around the hip, I'm on my toes. It looks a little bit weird, but this posture really helps against two of his most common counters, which is one, him trying to put me in close guard, and two, him trying to bridge and roll. You come down here, and he bridges and rolls me to his left. He can be pretty effective. But when I take my hips off the mat and my knees off the mat, when he tries to bridge and roll, it doesn't have the same effect, okay? So we're gonna practice this a little bit. I want you to just make sure you lock up the upper body, and then I want you to walk up in this tripod. Make sure you're on your toes, and that your outside knee, your free knee, is covering by the hip. You can sort of pinch your knees in, okay? From there, after you got the hang of it, you can have your partner try to put you in close guard, try to throw the legs around your hips, and you can have your partner slowly trying to bridge and roll you over, okay? You should be stable from there. Let's grab a partner, try it on 3, 1, 2, 3. It's really important that we just practice getting good and getting into that tripod. And probably when we do positional sparring, you'll get rolled over a couple of times, you'll have people escape their knee. It's a part of the learning process. Dedicate yourself to getting good at this, and you'll reap the benefits of it. For me, it took a little bit of time to get good at this, but once I started to get the hang of it, I started to really get past some really good people's guards. And it's just about committing, getting in there, trying, failing, adjusting, trying again, right? So we just want to make sure we have the procedure clear for us here. First, we want to set the upper body. Straighten him out first. Connect the shoulder to the jaw. Roll everything to your right. Try not to get your head too far away from his head. We don't want too much space up here where you can look to swim arms in, push our face. We want everything tight. So if my head is too far out here, Theodore can swim this hand in. That's problems. We don't want him pushing in front of our head. So when you get in here, try to put your forehead right next to his. Shrug your shoulders. This sucks. Yeah, really get those good shrugs in here. Here. This is terrible for him. Now, so we lock up the upper body. We start to get up into a tripod. Another little detail here with the tripod, besides head position here, is make sure to turn your hips a little bit. So my trapped knee here, I'm turning it out. I'm pointing it here so it can slide out the crease of his hip here. So I'm demonstrate here. Here, I'm not straight with my legs, I'm turning in here. So my left knee comes more in front of the knee, his knee, and my right knee is pointing away. So let me see if you can get a good view of this here. So here, look at my left knee. I'm going in front and I'm kind of turning my hips to block this. By just pinching here, it just has to be a little bit sweaty. See what it pushes in, and the knee comes out. But when I turn my hips, when he tries the same, it's difficult. Also, my right knee has an easier time popping out by his hip here. So if he's pinching on here, I'm just showing the lower body here, so don't try to hover like this in training. But see, he wants to keep this knee inside. I want it free. So when I get up on my tripod here, I can start to use my knee, walk my feet, and pop this knee out here. If it's turning in, it's a lot harder to pop it out. But when I turn it out, I can make the knee pop out here. So I'm kind of using my left knee to block this leg from coming out, and I'm also using it to push his legs down my leg to free the knee. So, in here, get in the tripod, get up, knee in front of his knee. I'm pushing down, I'm walking my right foot close to his butt here. When I get a good chance, I want to just use my left leg to free my foot. Once I have it free, I want my right knee to the left side of his body here. So I take a couple of steps and put the knee on the mat. Here. From here, this is a very uncomfortable position for Theodore. Make sure your knee touches the mat. So we go in, as soon as we can get the knee free, we take a couple of steps, put a knee on the mat. From here, I want to open his lock. First, I push on the top leg, then the bottom leg, and I get to my side control. So we want to free the knee first, and once the knee is free, we can put it on the mat, and then we free our foot and go into a side control position, okay? It's a lot of us just basically using the leg that's free, the one that's not trapped, to push his legs down. Once we can free our knee, we can put it to the mat here. So one more time. So look here, I get up. I can kind of push down with my knee. I can get my shoelaces in and push, push, push. Once my knee is free, I walk and put it on the mat. From here, open on the top, open on the bottom, get to side control. Let's just see that solo. So you can see the leg work. So here, look, I'm pushing down with this, and I can use my shin and my foot to peel his legs down further. Once I can see my knee's out, getting the sweet little sunshine here, take a couple of steps to put it on the mat. Once the knee is on the mat, you're in a pretty stable position. You just need to free the foot and you've passed the guard. So instead of just trying to blast through, what we're gonna do is we're gonna push on his lock. First push on the top knee without the sole of our foot, and then push the bottom leg free to free the foot. We're in side control. I know it seems like a lot, but just step by step. Set everything in, get to the tripod, and then from there, free your knee, get it to the mat, free your foot. All right, let's try with a partner and free. 1, 2, free. Variations we can go for. But the quest remains the same. I want to free my knee first, then I want to free my foot. Freeing everything at the same time, it only really happens if he's not clamping onto my leg, which is a big mistake on his side. If Theodore at any point just gives up on jiu-jitsu here, it's just the easiest pass in the world. And at a beginner level, if you're really good at this, you will tire out a lot of people. Sometimes they'll just let go. They just don't want to be there anymore. They want to change it up. So that's a moral victory. If you can just have people let go of your leg, but you shouldn't expect it. You should train for people trying to hold on as much as they can, and you taking your sweet time getting your leg out, okay? So sometimes we get in here, we're trying to free everything in here, and we feel like it's so difficult. Maybe I feel like he's pushing on my hips. Maybe I feel like he's just holding on so tight with his legs. It's hard to use my other leg to free my knee. And this is where we can switch our upper body grips a little bit to a position where we have one free hand. So we still need the underhook. We get in here, we go up, we feel like, maybe this is not working out for some reason. What I want to do is I want to lean back for a second. I want to take out my crossface. I just want to post it like right on the side of his head here. Then I'm going to take my head over here. So I let go of the crossface, but now I can use my head as a crossface here. Hitting his cauliflower ear maybe a little bit here. So I'm not really controlling his jaw anymore, but I'm holding his head and arm in place via my underhook and my head. So now my left hand is free to work. So we get in here, maybe I start here, I try to go up, I feel like it's not working out. I can sit back for a moment, post on the head, and put my forehead to the mat. Now I can go up in that same tripod position, but this time I can open up here. Why? Because I have my hand free, so if he tries to put me in close guard, I can just check his knee. Right? He wants to do this. Boom. Before I needed my leg to block it because my arms were occupied, but right now my left hand is free, so I can just check his knee. From here, I can also use this hand to help free my leg. I can push it down. I can use this for a little bit. Now I can do the exact same thing as before. This time holding on to his tricep here, kicking out. When I go back here, I want to make sure to lift him up a little bit and put it back across face and get my head on the other side. So we're using our head to control his head instead of using our left arm. So now our left arm is free to push on the legs and help us out. This is also great against people who you know is gonna have a really explosive bridge, because we can stand wide with our legs for good base. So when my knees are together here and I go up, anterior jaw is just a master bridge right here, my base is very narrow because I need to hold my legs together to stop him putting me in close guard. When I have this head block here, an underhook, I can take my legs out far. He tries to bridge me, so difficult. He just needs to mess up a little bit and give me the pass. So this position is nice. However, we just gotta make sure our partner doesn't get their arms free when we switch the control. So one more time, we're basically doing the same pass, but with a different grip here. So you start here. Look, I'm gonna release my crossface and I'm gonna post on his head. Then I take my hand next to his and I straighten him out using my spine here. My underhook, I like to keep it either tight on the shoulder or reaching to the neck here. My head here has the same job as my crossface before. I'm straightening him out here. I walk up into that tripod, but now I can have my base wide. He tries to free the knee. I just block it with my hand. He tries to bridge and roll. My base is too strong. I push down the knee, walk, walk, walk. Sorry, Theodore. Just move you a little bit, bud. Oh, pal. Here, knees free. I walk it to the mat. And from here, we want to control this arm. I recommend just holding the tricep. And the same procedure as before. Kick the top leg, bottom leg. You can slide through. You can slide through, pick up the head. And we have a nice side control, okay? So we want to post on the head, use our head to block. Yes?
When I'm in tripod,
yeah.
In this white tripod, am I still crushing his head with my shoulder, or is it
No, you're just holding his head in place with your head. You're not really controlling his jaw anymore, but you're keeping his head and arm together with your head and your arm, all right? So let's just practice this, guys. This is a great alternative to the head and arm grip, which is harder to bridge out of and harder to put people in close guard with on bottom. Let's try it on 3. 1, 2, 3.